And so it begins. The massive reorganization today on The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Welcome, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Heavily toted up Dealer here on the Wednesday edition of the Crazy Picker Life. It's a new month. July is over. It is August. Oh boy. Whenever we switch months, that can just be an exciting time, is a nice way to put it, right? Busy, busy, busy. I'm at 2 o'clock plus, and here I am starting the vlog. Sometimes it's like that. Well, we got a bunch done this morning. I'm finishing up the orders. I have one more order that is a $200 lens order, but I had to fish it out of the freezer. It's something that somebody wanted really quick. And occasionally when we put lenses through the freezer frozen lens freezing frozer system, occasionally we have to get one out of there faster than normal. So I think before I go to the post office today, it will be ready. I got it out in time. It's going to Peru, which is crazy in itself. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't ship too often to Peru, although I have shipped there before. Okay, so I got that to finish up before I get on the road downtown. And we did go running this morning and got orders out and end of month stuff. Let me talk about that for a minute. So I used to, over the years I've had different businesses. I've worked for a family business that was a $1 million plus a year sales business, both retail and service with, at our peak, I think we had 14 employees. And information is important. Statistics, monthly sales, all that stuff. I've ebbed and flowed between how busy and pushing and growing. My businesses are always growing and changing. And when you're in the internet world, eBay world, your business, whether you know it or not, is always changing. If you don't change it a little bit, or you don't change it when things change, you'll be left behind. And so my business, whether it's been changed for me and then I adjusted, or whether I saw something and adjusted, it's always changing. And so that makes it tough sometimes to keep statistics. The one statistic I have been keeping for the last 6 or 7 years has been our main camera channel statistics, and we've had other eBay accounts that have ebbed and flowed over the years. The reason I started keeping deeper statistics on the camera channel is I was paying commissions, basically paying Wheeler. So I had to know how much I was selling. I had to have some more in-depth stats. I wanted to see if this thing was performing, if it was worth going for, all that kind of stuff. So this last year, I turned on the statistics on the other eBay channels so that they would start keeping monthly totals and have reports available and things like that. There's ways to do that on the eBay channel, depending if you have Sales Manager Pro or whatever they give you with the store. There's ways to draw statistics off of there. And so this year I've got statistics that I can start comparing all out till last year, right? So at the end of the month, I do a bunch of different things. I've got to calculate some pay for Wheeler, paying him as a subcontractor. I've got to do my monthly totals. I've got, switch over of bills and accounts and things like that. I'd like to see where all that stuff is at, where our family finances, all that is end of month. So I've been busy this last night and morning on doing some of that. And here's a graph I can show you. We've been doing the momentum thing for about almost 40 days. I think it might be 38 days. Let's see, 38, 39 days somewhere. I have updated the momentum contest thing for our in-house momentum listing contest, and I will talk about that later. I've got to update the wipe board in my office and the wipe board on Wheeler's door, and then I'll show you that where we're at there. So momentum. Lost it for a minute. So momentum, we came off of a 6-week vacation, and then we had a very short and fast December last year, and then we were ready to go January, February, March, April. We were ready to go for our busiest selling season for camera stuff. And our graph sort of represented that, and we got all the orders out. The problem is we slowed down a lot on listing and fell off the map for at least weeks at a time. Some of us did. I'm not saying what happened there. Whatever happened, happened, right? So this graph sort of summarizes that. And I don't have this graph totally sorted out yet. If you look on the bottom, it says January 00 all the way along. The month here, and it's hard to tell exactly where the points are. This is the end of July, end of June, end of May, April, March, February, January. Uh-oh. Banana peeler coming down trying to list his brother's iPad that he bought from him. So, starting in January down through the end of August. No, the end of July. We're in August. Too many interruptions here. Okay, so obviously we had a good month in January. February was a good month. Rebounded a little bit in March, April, and then obviously the trend here is down to this valley at the end of May. And you know, I can feel this all the way along. I'm like, okay, our camera sales are slowing down, but then right about in here, I can tell by the sales and I can tell by how much we're listing that if we don't start something, we aren't going to pull out of this. It's just going to be a flat line at best. I mean, I've been around long enough to see what was going to happen, and that's when I got kind of down about this, and I'm trying to figure it out. And somewhere in here, I'm helping Wheeler try to get a schedule together. I'm working with him. I'm like, look, here's what's coming. Flat line at best until fall. We don't want that, do we? We got mountains of inventory. You know, we just bought mountains of good stuff. We can't flatline. We should be going for it. So I didn't know exactly how to articulate that, and I talked it through, thought it through, talked it with Lon, my wife, and we came up with the momentum contest to get everybody focused and on board, and that went into effect. I mean, you know, this wasn't like 90-degree angle or anything. This is the end of May, the end of May, so that's just our amount that we sold. It was like 15,000 for that month, and some of those other numbers go up into the 30s up there. So we turned it around, got listing, and then you can see that it's fairly dramatic. It's the middle of summer. We had the problems with listing promotions manager, which is probably why this is not at the same angle up as that. It's slowed down a little bit without the listing manager, although we're having a good month. Some things that have slowed down would be my regular channels and the watch channel, because I'm not able to put things on sale there, and they really zing out on sale. So where's my lighting? I've got hot spots and I've got good spots. You don't really need to see me, you just need to hear me. So that's what momentum's doing for us in the middle of summer. Even with promotion manager on the fritz a little bit. We're having to sort that out, and we just went through a good period with sales, and then I think after Wednesday or Thursday, I think my sales on the main camera channel are going to be pretty much done again for 15 days or 14 days or whatever. Got a big wad of items ending, and I'm going to reprice them down, and then I'm going to have to wait, put them on 30-day again, and have to wait 14 days. So that is good. That you know, a graph like that shows me what I want to see. It shows me that we've pulled out of the bottom for now and listing well. Okay, so we got the totes in. This is what 300 pounds of totes looks like. It is 100 green U-line totes stacked, I believe 20 high. We did count them. There's 5 stacks. That's a lot of totes. That's a lot of totes to work with. So I also got a cool pull cart, and I hesitate to say I got a free pull cart because obviously everybody knows that's part of the marketing game. When you spend money, you can get perks, but you're paying for the perks, or somebody is. But anyway, I got a free collapsible pull cart that probably will work for us picking in some situations. So I'm gonna have to see how that looks. There are some places we go picking where we end up carrying stuff an awful long way and a heavy way, and I think a pull cart probably would help us out. So I picked up a free one of those with my U-line overpriced totes. Now, I didn't get a lot of heat on this directly. People have told me about some of the things that they use to organize and some of the deals that they've found on totes and boxes and things like that. I have always found deals on those kind of things as well. I happen to get a lot of free totes. I'm looking around to see if I have them, but a lot of them are mismatch and sort of good and sort of broken, and some of them are lightweight and some of them are not quite the right size to stack, or they're not big enough. You know, I'm gonna give my opinion on this, and it's not because I just spent money on 100 of these, but this is my favorite size for camera stuff. You can load it up, it'll handle it, and it's still, with the handles, it's still movable. It can be, you know, 60, 70 pounds in there when you get lenses or camera bodies in there, something like that. I should weigh one sometimes. Some of them seem heavier. But anyway, I appreciate that everybody put some of the things that they use for materials handling. I'm going to use these, and I think they're going to work out. It's certainly a long-term investment. I thought about it a little bit more. I bought, I think, 30 years ago, and we've used those for many, many years, and they're in fine shape. So, lots of things to do today, school-wise. You know, always things to do. I've been booking some trips upcoming in the upcoming weeks and months online. You know, lots of things going on. So we on Sunday night, we always try to have dinner together, and I would say 90% of the time we're all at supper every single night. Maybe closer to 95% of the time. Only when we go out of town would some of us not be at supper. Occasionally Wheeler or somebody's on a weird schedule and maybe they're sleeping. But hardly anybody misses supper because it's the best meal. On Sundays, I used to make the meal, and I've passed that on to Kate and Jacob, Banana Peeler, and they've been doing a good job making the Sunday meal. We make a special meal on Sunday, and you know, we've used Schwann's, we've used some other Omaha steaks, some things that are fun, reasonably easy to prepare, good desserts, all that kind of stuff, good drinks along with it, juice, whatever. And we're trying something else here. I'm trying it this week. So tonight I've got to sort this thing out, but this is not an endorsement by any means. I'm on the internet. I try a lot of different clubs. I try a lot of different things on the internet. this looked interesting. I got a mailer on Hello Fresh, so they send you all the ingredients. 4 meals. We're gonna make both of them for tonight since we have eight people. But I've got cowboy style chicken pizza and Fun Day fajita bar with pork, onion, and bell pepper, southwestern pork. They give you a step-by-step. I'm going to work with Kate on this one tonight and then probably move it so it starts coming so that we can do that on Sunday night. It actually will be a little healthier than what we've been doing. I don't think much of it or any of it is organic, but at least it's better than deep fried for the most part, which a lot of the stuff that we get from Schwann's is deep fried or near deep fried, not quite as good. So we can get some international meals, we can get some variation. We're gonna try that. I'll let you know how it's going. So it showed up in this heavy box and they have regular ice in there, not even dry ice, and then they line it with these blankets basically. It's some kind of cheap insulation fuzz in there with a bag around it, and I'm just going to reuse those. That's pretty good dense packing. Man, expensive UPS ground shipment, and then the food is in there in bags and sealed and things like that. It did keep it cold, so kind of interesting. We do have limited choices out here for food, so that's part of the reason something like that is kind of exciting for myself. Lon, the kids love it. You know, they just like variation. Easy, simple. I don't have to sit there and watch the supper very much anymore. I've got people that can do that and be trusted. So that's what's going on. I'm going to get my order packed up and try to get out of here, and then I got to get back and work with the preliminaries of these totes. So one thing I was thinking, I'm gonna have to talk to Wheeler and see if it makes any sense. We can put the same type of things in a tote, but I'm also thinking that some of these totes should be maybe put together where it's sort of like a day's work load towards momentum for Wheeler. I don't know if I can do that. That might be too complicated. But then, you know, you just bring a tote and you go, well, there's what I got to do today. And once you get 2 or 3 totes stacked up, if you get behind, then you're going to be like Laverne on the brewery scene of Laverne and Shirley, where all the beer is coming and she's not capping it fast enough and it starts going off the end of the conveyor. That's one of the funniest things. That was shot, supposedly, that was based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I was born and grew up in that area. Somewhat, all the breweries were down there, or a lot of breweries were down there, and it was supposed to be the Schatz, so I think Schatz Brewery, which was based on Blatz and or Schlitz. So some of my memories come from watching Laverne and Shirley and Squiggy and Lenny. Still get those reruns out there somewhere. Some of them are dumb and some of them are pretty funny. Okay, I gotta get on the move. What do we got here, Samuel?
2 totes.
2 totes, 2 mail totes going in, 19 packages going out. Okay, well, Sam and I went picking briefly, and I picked up this very rough steel looking trailer here. I can't tell, it's supposed to be a dually. It's missing a set of tires. It's a fifth wheel. It's got a door on the side, sort of like it's a camping trailer, and then the top comes off. And I looked a little bit. I'm gonna have to look again, see if I can find a maker on it. Everything's pretty scratched up on the bottom. It has been my experience that certain toys, trailers, old ones, are money even in this condition. The Winnebago toys from the, I don't know, 70s or 60s, where they're steel and they have a Winnebago. It's not a trailer, it's a regular motorhome, and the top opens. Those are pretty good money. and there's a few others. Found a few small little trailers that go for good money too, old ones, the kind that they used to pull behind cars, and the toy version of that. So these would have been mimicking the trailers from the 30s and 40s and 50s, maybe even the 20s, that mostly I think adventurous and rich people had. This one, I don't know. Paid $5, so no loss. Heavy, large project for somebody. I'm sure I'm going to make money, but I'll have to see if I can find it online. Alright, well, we just got done with the Hello Fresh meal pack, and we had 2 separate meals for 4 each. We have 8 people, so 2 times 4 is 8. So we made some kind of fajitas and some kind of pizzas, and both were pretty good. We would do some things differently if we continue it. I think since we have 8 people, we're going to try to get 1 meal and 8 servings, which you have to trick the system, I think, to get that done. It's meant for groups of 2 or 3 or 4, I think, not 8. So I'll have to get on there with some tech and fix that. And I think we're going to move it to our Sunday night meal and try that for a while. But before all that happens, all that change, we're going to run 1 or 2 more cycles and just try some things and see if we like it before I spend time tweaking their system. Anyway, lots of food, really full. I thought it would be small portions, but we barely made it through it. Okay, quick check-in with Wheeler here in a minute, and we got a new momentum board up, revamped for August. We're still going all the way through August and all the way through September. We started June 16th for those of you that are just joining us. We're attempting to get $200,000 of new listings. That's not relistings. That's not items ending and then relisting. That's new items listed, and 4,000 new items listed. We've had to revamp our number a couple times because we've fallen slightly behind. We were about $10,000 off the pace the last time I checked here. Day 39 is in the books out of 83 listed. That means we've got about 44 days left, including today, of listable days before September 30th. We need $2,799 a day of new listings, 59 items a day listed. Both those numbers are tough and maybe even near impossible, but we're going to keep going at it. I got to do a bunch of sorting and see what we have left here, and then I've got some ideas what I can do besides list some of the dog-eared camera stuff to get this to happen. That is our current total as of day 39. 76,839 in the books, 1,424 items listed. And if you can see the graph, I showed that before. This was right before we started, and we've turned it around for summer. That's the important graph right there. Whoa!
What's up?
Wheeler, what you listening to?
I don't know, YouTube.
So you're on YouTube here, and you're listening to YouTube.
Yep, that's how it works. YouTubeception.
So a couple of our viewers have been wondering why you're not first anymore.
I don't know. I wasn't up yesterday night.
Yeah, you bowed out early, didn't you?
Yep. I don't know. First on a couple of them.
Somebody got first, and they were very excited.
It's good.
Yeah. Are you in the running still? Or are you? Is that it? Is your streak over?
Still in the running.
Okay, so you got a bunch of items already listed here.
Yep.
Your tote is migrating from the spot.
I never had it in the spot I had over here for a while.
Yeah, it's all moving around.
Yep.
You ran 4 miles today.
Yeah, didn't feel like anything.
What'd you think about the supper? The Hello Fresh?
Super. Oh, it was Hello Fresh. Thought maybe that was sort of what that was.
Hello Fresh.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pretty good.
Yep, pretty good.
We're gonna try it a couple more times at least.
Yep.
So you got enough stuff?
Cleaning all these dusty cameras on the last part of the 3 totes. I brought 3 totes in here, so this is kind of all the scrapings that I left behind.
Scrapings, I know all about that.
Yep, not super fun, but should be 40 items here if I actually get them going.
Well, we need it, right?
Yep.
We got to come up with some.
Much longer list, but a little bit.
We got to come up with some sort of a monthly contest that makes sense for you.
Yeah.
I was gonna put a big bounty on keeping up by the end of August, but I don't know if it'll motivate you or not.
Yeah, we need a big bunny.
No, this would be for you.
Yeah, I need a big bunny. I mean, it's gonna be tough.
I mean, if it would actually make you work harder, I'd put one up.
Sure.
Well, I'll think about it.
Got a new cube I could buy, but of course that one's probably expensive.
Of course, we have weekly bounties like pizzas and popcorn and snacks on weekends. Whoa.
Yeah, got that big cube, and there's another one sort of like it that came out that's a little bit smaller.
What's it cost?
400.
Oh, I'm talking a bigger bounty than that.
Ooh, bigger than that. Well, there you go. Now we're talking.
Well, yeah. So you better not drop the ball today.
That's what I'm saying. I guess I better get on it. That would be
I was thinking of a 4-figure.
Whew.
Yeah.
What could that be? Wow.
How could that be?
No, I said, what could that be?
Well, where does 4 figures start? Do you know?
I don't know. Where does it end?
It ain't gonna end.
Goes to 9999.
Yeah, that is not what I'm talking about. But maybe maybe 1000. I truly don't think. I don't think we can make it.
Yeah. No,
So-
that's the same thing here. So it'd have to be quite a motivation.
Well, that'd be a nice little bonus on the paycheck.
Yep.
All right. Anything else going on?
Nope.
How's your skateboard holding up?
Pretty good. Surprisingly good, actually. I mean, it feels kind of like rubber wood, but
I guess I was supposed to get some video of your sick tricks on your I didn't make it last month
Forgot about that,
reward skateboard.
yeah.
Didn't quite make the goal last month, so you did what?
Went and bought a Walmart board for $15.
Yeah, still
savings.
Still running, right?
1/10 the price. Yeah. Still
Yeah.
running. Not very well. It's not a very good skateboard.
We were gonna get you a couple $100 board.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the perks are going up, but the challenge is higher.
That's it.
All right, I'll let you work. I
Got
gotta.
close last month, and it's kind of a sucky month. So I guess we'll see. This one's way better.
Well,
I mean, we did the basketball camp, and I had some other stuff there. That's kind of
you're
a couple
in.
weeks there.
You're in control, man.
I know.
You're in control.
Yep.
Somewhere towards the end of the month, we're
Sleep transition at the basketball camp. I mean, this month should be clear, right?
see what you got.
Got it.
Well, I would like to go downstairs and start ripping into stuff. However, I've got an hour to do some homework with the kids, and then I'm going to go on a walk with Lon. And by that time, I'll be raring to go. It's going to be late. I put in a later night last night and up early again today. I got to keep it going, though. Time to sort it. Well, there you go. Now that I'm thoroughly whoop-assed from my day. Oh my gosh. Where to start? Well, I've been thinking about that on and off all day. Haven't really had too much time to think. But I need a place to work and lay stuff out. And then I need a place to start going with totes once I fill them and have them labeled and all that. So I think this is my sort area. Is pretty obvious. This is my walkway, and this is sort of a work area, and this is a walkway, and I have a little leeway in all those different places that I can put stuff temporarily. I mean, it's pretty easy to line stuff up on this side temporarily. I think my goal is going to be able to get all these items out of here, which isn't going to take too long. Take those totes out of there, and I'm going to bring those to my back room, more or less out of the way. Back here, a couple there, a bunch there, stack them up a little bit, and then I can start bringing them out here one at a time, two at a time, strategically try to find some that I can transfer to the new totes from boxes and odd totes, and then start putting them back under there once they're tallied with approximate value, listing value, and all the stuff in there that I want in there. And then we'll fill that up. And once that's filled up under there, which I don't know how many totes that's going to take, quite a few, then I can continue to pull stuff out from the back room, deal with it here, and figure out where I'm going to temporarily put it in the back room or wherever. We'll figure it out. But it's a little bit like a, what are those tile puzzles where you have one square out of 4, 1 out of 16 or 1 out of 20 or whatever it is open, and you sit there and you slide one down, one over, another down, over, and you keep moving that blank around until your puzzle looks good. It's not quite, this is not quite like a Rubik's Cube. It's more like one of those tile puzzles that yeah, I solved a few of those when I was a kid, I think. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll just show you what it looks like cleaned up under there. I'll probably have to sweep under there. It's pretty dusty, dirty, whatever. So we have some totes that are not so great, like maybe this one here with some cases and stuff. Now, there's a Nikon case here, and there's some reasonable cases mixed in there. That might be a couple $100 tote. And then, there's still some like this. This is a reasonably small box, but I just opened this up to peek. And you start pulling things like Hasselblad out of there, and you keep going deeper, and it's like Hasselblad boxes with new old stock Hasselblad stuff and new old stock Nikon stuff with a bunch of other stuff mixed in. That kind of box right there gets into the 1,000+ box, and in a hurry. It's pretty dense. And so that gives me hope that we still have really good stuff here, mixed in with some, B+, A- grade stuff. So there's some pretty good stuff here. Wheeler will be excited. There's some other totes that more or less I can leave it in this tote. I'll look through it, but if you look in here, we went to an ARC thrift store just in one of our travels when we were out and about in the last year, and just stuffed a lens in here. We bought it for $8.99. It's probably a $50 lens or more. And there's, cameras and camera bodies galore down in there. And so these are good bread and butter items for us. You test them. If they work, there's a pretty good market for them. A tote like that probably has 20 camera bodies and some lenses and some miscellaneous. So that's a pretty solid $500 plus tote retail. Now I say 500 plus, 500 would be the low end. It only takes 1 or 2 lenses in there, or 1 or 2 camera bodies to be something special, and you can have a couple $100 in special lenses or bodies, and you can pump up that number pretty quick. So I'm trying to be low ball on there. So I don't know. We've had some totes that we've listed in the last 30 days that when it's all listed, a tote like that with stuff in it has been, $3,000 or $4,000. So I hope we have some more of those left. I know we have good solid stuff, and I'm excited about it. I'm just beat right now. I'm really tired right now. I need to kick off here pretty soon. I was just digging around in these boxes last week a little bit. It made me decide that I needed to go through and repack these, because it's really hard to tell what's in here. I start digging around, and there's bread and butter, good camera stuff, good clean camera stuff, and there's like little miniature cameras which are hit and miss. And I've got this pad here. I packed it originally, and down in there are some really expensive box cameras, but they have weird fold out fronts and stuff. They're really neat. They've got colored bellows on them, and you just don't know what's in here. Here's a Voigtlander, 1756 to 1956. Who knows? You got a camera in there. It could be brand new in there from 56. You just don't know what's down in here. It's good bread and butter, and then every 5th, 6th piece is a hit, so it's really good stuff, more or less. Oh, Time for a hug.
Yay!
Bedtime. So a little word of encouragement for you parents that are getting to be a little older and think, well, maybe we shouldn't have any more kids, or maybe we're done having kids, or whatever. We trusted in God, and we got 2 beautiful kids after age 40 plus ish. What a surprise, and what a good surprise. She and Sam are something else. So a little word of encouragement for you aging parents. Do the right thing. Alright, well, I made a mess in my back room. Typically when I do this kind of stuff, what'll happen is something there will sell and I'll have to move some stuff around to dig in there. I've always had certain space constraints from time to time and always pack myself in from time to time, but working down here in limited space has taught me that I need to get out of this situation and have a bigger space. But I want to do it in the right way. Having a commercial space is great. Buying and owning a commercial business business property is probably a mistake. Taxes will kill you in a lot of areas. In our area, business property is taxed higher, much higher than personal. And working from home, you can get some pretty good tax advantages. We need a different house to do it properly. This house is too old, too small, and too high maintenance for my liking. It's not my thing. So that's part of the new plan, is nose to the grindstone, and we're going to make it happen. Okay, so I got all that stuff out of there, and I think that's about all the steam I have for tonight. Start fresh tomorrow. I got that all cleared out and sweeped out. Got to put my tables back together. There was quite a divide starting there and there where the tables were migrating. I think I have room for 8 totes, 8 totes, and 8 totes. So 24 under there, maybe more. Might be able to, I think I can actually fit another one between the legs, maybe too high there. That might give me 28 under there. That would be good. It's not really about packing it and leaving it there. We've done enough of that, and we've been making really good headway. But this next sort, it's going to be a little like triage. It's going to be not as much thrown away and lotted up, but I'm going to have to figure out some things I can list and move out, and then keep Wheeler working on high-end stuff, good stuff, tougher stuff to test. Good margin. Everything here is good margin. I mean, we got good margins. It's unbelievable. Every time I move this stuff around, I'm like, wow, where did we get all this stuff? It cost us money and time to get it, but unbelievable the opportunities out there if you're willing to do the work. All right, I've got some things to wrap up, but that's the end of the physical workout and the end of the vlog. We'll be back tomorrow with more Pick Well List Often. Wheeler and Dealer out of here.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.